The gun pressed against Maya Carter's temple felt cold. Impossibly cold. Her hands were zip-tied behind her back, cutting into her wrists as she knelt on the marble floor. Blood dripped from her split lip, each drop echoing in the silent penthouse like a countdown. 3 feet away, her 1-year-old daughter Naya screamed in her carrier. Raw, terrified screams that tore through the air like broken glass. "Silence her," the man behind Maya hissed in Korean, his breath hot against her ear. "Or I silence you both." Maya's heart hammered against her ribs. She couldn't reach Nia, couldn't comfort her, couldn't do anything but kneel there and listen to her baby's terror. Then the penthouse door exploded inward. Smoke billowed through the entrance. Through it walked a man in a blood-splattered white shirt, a gun held loosely at his side. Kang Jae-min, Seoul's most feared crime lord. The man who controlled half the city's underworld with nothing but cold calculation and ruthless efficiency. His dark eyes swept the room, found Maya, found Nia, found the gun. "You have 3 seconds," Jae-min said quietly, his voice carrying despite its low volume, "to remove that weapon from her head." The man holding Maya laughed, the sound sharp and mocking. "Or what? She's just a cleaner. One dead black girl won't—" The gunshot was so loud Maya's ears rang. The man behind her dropped, his weight hitting the floor with a dull thud. Warm blood splattered across the back of her neck. Jaemin didn't lower his weapon. He walked forward, his expensive shoes clicking against marble, until he stood directly in front of Maya. Blood splattered his face, his pristine suit, his perfectly styled hair. "Are you hurt?" he asked. Maya couldn't speak, could barely breathe. She just stared up at him. This man who just killed someone as easily as breathing, and felt her entire world tilt on its axis. That's when she knew. Nothing would ever be the same again. If you're already hooked, and you need to know how Maya ended up here, with a gun to her head and a Mafia king as her only salvation, hit that subscribe button right now. Because this story gets darker, more twisted, and more dangerous with every second. If you believe a single mother can survive in a world built on blood and betrayal, smash that like button. Only people who don't believe in fighting back would scroll past this. Drop a comment telling me where you're watching from, because I need to know who's brave enough to stick with Maya's story. Let's go back to where this nightmare began. 12 hours earlier, Maya's world was already crumbling. She stood in the doorway of her basement apartment in Seoul, holding Nia on her hip while her landlord delivered the final blow. 72 hours, Miss Carter, Mr. Park said through the cracked door. Then I changed the locks. Please, Maya begged, hating how desperate she sounded. I have a shift tonight. I'll have the money by next week, I promise. You said that last month. Mr. Park looked at Nia with something like pity in his weathered face. That baby deserves better than this. The door closed. Maya slid down the wall, fighting tears because crying wouldn't pay rent. Nia touched her face with tiny, concerned fingers. Mama. We're okay, baby, Maya whispered, even though they weren't. Mama's got a plan. She didn't have a plan. She had 72 hours, $200 in her bank account, and a cleaning shift at Black Tide Tower that she absolutely could not miss. Her phone buzzed. Text from her babysitter. Can't do tonight. Sorry. No explanation. No alternative. Just another door slamming in her face. Maya called everyone. Her cousin in Itaewon, straight to voicemail. The church group, no answer. Every other cleaner she knew gave her excuses wrapped in apologies. At 6:47 p.m., Maya made the worst decision of her life. She packed Nia's carrier with bottles, diapers, and toys, and headed to work. Black Tide Tower rose 70 floors, above Gangnam, all glass and steel and corporate power. Everyone in Seoul knew it belonged to Kang Jae-min's empire. Legitimate businesses on paper, but funded by money that flowed through darker channels. Maya had been cleaning the executive floors for 3 months, following 3 simple rules. Never make eye contact with executives, be invisible, and absolutely no personal items allowed. She was about to break all 3. Maya hid Nia in the supply closet on the 48th floor, tucked behind industrial mop buckets and chemical containers. It wasn't safe. It definitely wasn't legal. But it was all she had. "Please be quiet, baby," Maya whispered, kissing Nia's forehead. Her daughter's brown eyes looked up at her with complete trust. "Just 2 hours. Mama will check on you every 20 minutes, okay?" Nia grabbed her finger and smiled. Maya closed the door and prayed. For 40 minutes, everything was fine. Maya mopped floors, emptied trash bins, and tried to ignore the knot of anxiety in her chest. Then Nia started crying. Not fussy, tired crying. Terrified, panicked. "Where's my mama?" crying that echoed through the halls like a siren. Maya abandoned her cart and ran. Mrs. Kim, her supervisor, intercepted her halfway down the corridor. "Carter, the executive meeting is still in session. You cannot—" Nia's scream cut through the air, high and desperate. Mrs. Kim's face went white. "Please tell me you didn't bring your child here." "I had no choice." "Do you know what floor you're on?" Mrs. Kim's voice shook. "Do you know who's in that meeting room right now?" Maya knew. Everyone in Seoul knew Kang Jae-min, 32 years old, built a criminal empire from his father's ashes, controlled everything from shipping ports to political campaigns. The kind of man whose name made grown men flinch and politicians sweat. People said he had no weaknesses, no family, no conscience. People said he was more monster than man. The double doors at the end of the corridor exploded open. 8 bodyguards emerged first, their hands hovering near concealed weapons. Then came executives in suits worth more than Maya's yearly salary, followed by associates and assistants. And then him. Kang Jae-min didn't look particularly tall or imposing, but he carried gravity like a weapon. His presence bent the air around him, made people step back instinctively, without knowing why. He wore a 3-piece Tom Ford suit like armor, his black hair slicked back with military precision, his expression carved from ice. He walked directly toward Nia's screaming. "Who?" Jaemin said quietly, his voice somehow carrying over the noise, "is responsible for this?" Mrs. Kim's nails dug into Maya's arm. "Sir, I'm so sorry. This cleaner violated protocol. I'll have her terminated immediately." "Bring the child to me." The hallway went silent except for Nia's cries. "Sir?" Mrs. Kim's voice cracked. "Did I stutter?" Maya thought she might vomit. Her hands shook as she retrieved Nia from the closet. Her daughter was red-faced, tears streaming, hiccuping between screams. The walk toward Kang Jae-min felt like walking toward an execution. His guards tensed as Maya approached. One stepped forward, hand moving toward his waist. Jae-min raised 2 fingers. The guard froze mid-motion. Maya stopped 6 feet away, clutching Nia against her chest. "I'm so sorry, sir. I couldn't afford childcare and I couldn't miss work. I'll never bring her again, I swear. Please don't fire me. Give her to me." Maya's heart stopped. "What?" "The child." His dark eyes were unreadable. "Hand her to me." Every instinct screamed no. But Maya looked into Jaemin's face and saw something unexpected. Not anger, not disgust. Curiosity. Slowly, her hands trembling, Maya extended Nia toward him. Jaemin took the baby with mechanical awkwardness, his arms forming a stiff cradle like he'd never held a child before. Nia's screams echoed off the marble walls. 20 people held their breath. Then, Nia hiccuped, blinked. Her tiny fingers reached up and touched Jaemin's face. and she went completely silent. The most feared man in Seoul stared down at Maya's daughter. Maya's daughter stared back, brown eyes meeting dark ones. And Nia smiled. Someone behind Maya whispered in Korean, "Impossible." Jaemin's expression didn't change, but something flickered in his eyes, something broken and dangerous and achingly human. "What's your name?" he asked Maya. "Maya Carter." "You're American." "Yes, sir." "How much do they pay you?" 2,000,000 a month. About $1,500, barely enough for rent and formula. Jaemin carefully handed Nia back to Maya, his movements precise and controlled. Then he turned to an elegant Korean woman in her 40s standing nearby. "Sun-hee, terminate Ms. Carter's cleaning contract." Maya's knees nearly gave out. "And draft a new one?" Jaemin continued. "Executive assistant, private detail, 12,000,001 monthly, housing in the residential wing, full benefits." The hallway erupted in shocked whispers. Maya couldn't breathe. "I don't understand." "Children scream when I hold them," Jaemin said simply. "They always have. Your daughter didn't." He looked at Nia, then back at Maya. "That means something. I can't accept this. I don't know anything about being an executive assistant. You have 60 seconds to decide." His voice turned to ice. "After that, you return to mopping floors, if you're lucky enough to keep that job." Nia grabbed Maya's finger, gurgling happily, completely unaware she'd just changed both their lives. Maya looked at Korea's most dangerous man and made her choice. "I accept." "Okay, pause right here. If you're sitting there thinking this can't possibly get more intense, let me tell you, you have no idea what's coming. Hit that like button if you're invested in Maya and Nia's survival. Drop a comment right now, telling me what time you're watching this, because I need to know who's willing to see this story through to the end. Are you Team Maya or Team she should run while she can? Let me know. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Only people who don't believe in second chances would skip that button. Let's keep going. The apartment they gave Maya was on the 52nd floor, with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Han River. It had a modern kitchen, a bedroom twice the size of her old apartment, and a separate room just for Nia. Maya cried for 20 minutes straight the first night, overwhelmed by the sheer impossibility of it all. The nanny arrived at 7 the next morning. Her name was Jisoo, a woman in her 50s, with military posture and hawk-like eyes. "I served in the ROK Army for 15 years, Jisoo explained, while efficiently checking window locks and door sensors. Then private security for Cheebles. Now this." She lifted her cardigan slightly, revealing a holstered weapon. "I'm always armed." Nia loved her, immediately, which Maya decided was either a very good sign or a very bad one. Maya's first official day started with a 3-hour briefing from Sun-hee in her pristine office overlooking the city. "Your job is simple," Sun-hee explained over coffee, served in porcelain cups that probably cost more than Maya's old monthly rent. "You sit in meetings, you watch, you tell Mr. Kang what you notice. Notice about what? People, body language, lies." Sun-hee's smile was sharp as a blade. "You see things we've been trained not to see. That makes you valuable." "I'm not trained for this." "You're a single mother who survived 3 years in Seoul with no visa, no money, and no family support. You're already trained." Sun-hee leaned forward. "But let me be very clear, Maya. This world doesn't forgive mistakes. Learn fast. Never lie to him. And never ever mistake his attention for affection." "I would never." "You will. Everyone does eventually." Sun-hee's expression softened slightly. "He saves people sometimes. It doesn't mean he's good. It means he's practical." The first meeting nearly shattered Maya, 8 men in expensive suits, Korean, Japanese, Chinese, discussed restructuring port operations and asset reallocation like they were talking about the weather. But Maya heard what they really meant. Restructuring meant violence disguised as negotiation. Asset reallocation meant forcing people out of businesses they'd built with their own hands. After the meeting, Jae-min called Maya into his office. The space was minimalist and cold, all clean lines and strategic emptiness. "What did you see?" he asked without preamble. Maya's mouth was dry. "The man in the gray suit kept looking at the door when you mentioned Busan, like he was planning an exit strategy. Continue." "The woman with red nails touched her necklace 3 times when discussing timelines. My mother used to do that when she lied to bill collectors." Maya hesitated. "And the man at the end of the table wasn't afraid of you. Everyone else was terrified. He was just annoyed." Jaemin studied her for a long moment, his dark eyes revealing nothing. "That man will attempt to kill me within 3 months." Maya's blood turned cold. "What?" "You have good instincts, Miss Carter. Develop them." He turned back to his computer, dismissing her. Maya was right to be afraid. 6 weeks later, the man at the end of the table tried to orchestrate a coup. Jae-min dealt with it swiftly and quietly. The man disappeared. No one asked questions. Weeks turned into months. Maya learned the language of power, how to read a room, spot a threat, navigate conversations where every word carried weight. Nia thrived with Jisoo, growing healthy and happy in ways Maya had only dreamed about during those desperate basement apartment days. But something else was happening, something nobody expected. Jae-min started spending time with Nia, not intentionally at first. He'd be reviewing contracts in Maya's apartment. He'd begun using it as a secondary office, and Nia would toddle over, offering him her stuffed elephant or a teething ring. He'd take it with complete seriousness, examine it, and hand it back. Nia would laugh like it was the funniest thing in the world, and Jae-min would stay a little longer each time. One evening, Maya emerged from the bathroom to find Jae-min sitting on the floor, Nia asleep against his chest, drooling on his $1,000 shirt. He looked up, and for just a second, his carefully constructed mask slipped. Maya saw vulnerability, pain, something desperately, achingly human. "She was crying," he said simply, as if that explained everything. "Thank you for comforting her." "Don't thank me. I'm not doing this for you." "Then why are you doing it?" He didn't answer, but he didn't leave either. Maya should have known peace was temporary in this world. The attack came on a Thursday afternoon. Maya was reviewing reports in the conference room adjacent to Jaemin's office when she heard the first gunshot, then screaming. Then an explosion that shook the entire floor, sending picture frames crashing and ceiling tiles raining down. Jisoo appeared like a ghost, scooping Nia from her playpen. "Move! Now!" They ran through smoke-filled hallways. The panic room was hidden behind a false wall in Jaemin's office, steel-reinforced and soundproof, designed for exactly this scenario. Jisoo sealed them inside as gunfire erupted through the halls like deadly fireworks. Nia didn't understand why they were hiding. She kept asking for Jay in her baby voice, and every time she said his name, Maya's heart broke a little more. Hours stretched like torture. Maya held Nia tight, listening to muffled explosions and shouting, wondering if Jae-min was alive or dead, wondering if they'd ever leave this steel box. When the door finally opened, Jae-min stood there. Blood soaked his white shirt. A cut slashed across his jaw. His gun was still in his hand, smoke rising from the barrel. But he was alive. He looked at Maya and Nia with something raw and desperate in his eyes, something that looked almost like relief. Then his mask slammed back down, and he turned away. "It's over," he said. "You're safe." That night, Maya couldn't sleep. She found Jae-min on his penthouse balcony, staring at Seoul's glittering skyline like he was trying to memorize every light. "This is your life," Maya said quietly. "Violence. Always violence." "Yes." "I didn't agree to raise my daughter in a war zone." "Then leave." His voice was flat, empty. "I'll ensure your safety. Money, documents, a new life, whatever you need." "Just like that?" "It's the practical choice." Maya stepped closer. "And you? What happens to you?" Finally, he turned to face her. "I've survived worse than loneliness, Miss Carter." "Stop calling me that," Maya said, anger flaring. "You held my daughter while she slept. You've spent months sitting on my floor playing with baby toys. You don't get to hide behind formal titles anymore." Something cracked in his expression. "What do you want me to say? That I've grown attached? That watching you exist makes me remember I'm human?" His voice rose, losing its usual control. "I'm the reason you're in danger. I'm the reason men with guns storm buildings where your child plays. I'm the monster, Maya. I'm exactly what people say I am." "Then why did you save us?" "Because," he stopped, closed his eyes. "Because when she looks at me, she doesn't see what I've done. She sees what I could be. And that's the most dangerous thing of all." Maya's heart fractured. "Jae-min." Naya appeared in the doorway, clutching her stuffed elephant, rubbing her eyes sleepily. She walked straight to Jae-min without hesitation, looked up with those trusting brown eyes, and said her first clear word. "Not Mama. Jae." The most dangerous man in Seoul picked up Maya's daughter like she was made of starlight, and something inside him broke open. "Lost my sister when she was 3 years old," he said quietly, his voice rough with emotion he usually kept locked away. "She was killed because I wasn't strong enough to protect her. I built this empire on her grave, became something people fear, because fear means control, and control means—" His voice cracked. "I thought control meant safety." "Jae-min, children scream when I hold them. They've always screamed, because they sense what adults have learned to hide." He looked at Naya, who was playing with his collar, completely content. But she didn't scream. She looked at me and smiled, like I was worth smiling at. She still does. "I didn't plan to keep you both. I was going to set you up somewhere safe, give you money, forget you existed." His eyes met Maya's. "But I can't undo what you've become to me." "What have we become?" "Something I don't have words for. Something I'm terrified to lose." If your heart is racing right now, if you need to know what happens next, hit that subscribe button like your life depends on it. We're about to reach the moment that changes everything. Comment "stay" if you think Maya should stay with Jae-min, or run if you think she should leave. And if you believe love can exist in the darkest places, if you believe broken people deserve second chances, smash that like button. Only people who've given up on hope won't do it. Let's finish this story. 3 months later, everything fell apart in a different way. Immigration services started asking questions about Maya's visa status. Financial regulators opened investigations into Black Tide's operations. Journalists published exposés on Jae-min's empire, and someone leaked Maya's name to the press. Photos of Maya and Naya appeared online. Articles speculated about Jae-min's secret American family. Think pieces dissected their relationship with invasive detail. Maya became a target simply by existing in Jae-min's orbit. Sun-hee cornered Maya in her apartment one evening, her expression grave. "You're leverage now. Every enemy Jae-min has knows you matter to him. That makes you valuable. That makes you dangerous. Then I'll leave. They'll follow you. You're marked, Maya. You can run, but you can't hide. Not anymore." Maya started packing anyway, making plans to disappear before she became the weapon used to destroy Jae-min. She packed late at night when Nia was asleep, trying to figure out how to vanish without leaving a trail. Jaemin found her at 2 in the morning, standing in her half-packed apartment. "You're running," he said. "Not a question. I'm protecting my daughter, protecting you." "From what? The world I built or the world I live in?" "Both." Maya threw a sweater into her suitcase, frustration and fear mixing into something explosive. "I can't do this anymore, Jaemin. Every day wondering if today's the day someone tries to kill you. Every night, checking if Nia's door is locked. I'm exhausted. I'm terrified. And I can't. I'll step back." Maya froze. "What?" "From the Empire. I'll delegate operations, distance myself from the violent side of the business. You can't just walk away from who you are. Watch me. They'll see it as weakness. Your enemies will come for you. Let them." He grabbed her hands, his grip desperate and human and real. "I've spent 15 years building walls. You knocked them down in 8 months. I don't know how to be good, Maya. I don't know if I can ever wash the blood off my hands. But I'm trying. For her. For—" He stopped. "For who?" Maya demanded. "For you." The words hung in the air like a confession, like a promise, like everything Maya hadn't let herself hope for. Nia appeared then, dragging her elephant, looking at them with sleepy confusion. She walked to Guimin, looked up at him with those impossibly trusting eyes. "Jay sad?" she asked. He crouched to her level. "Yes, baby. I'm sad." "Why?" "Because I'm afraid of losing something important." Nia patted his cheek with her small hand. "Nia, stay. Mama, stay. No sad." And just like that, a 1-year-old child made the choice for all of them. Restructuring a criminal empire turned out to be harder than building one. Jaemin spent 6 months systematically stepping back from Black Tide's dangerous operations. He delegated the bloody work to trusted lieutenants, kept control of the legitimate businesses, and cut ties with the most violent associates. People called him weak. People tested his boundaries. Jaemin dealt with them decisively, brutally once. After that, everyone understood. Stepping back didn't mean stepping down. It meant evolution. Maya became his operational director, running Black Tide's legitimate side, while Jaemin maintained strategic control. She learned to command respect in boardrooms, to negotiate with sharks, to be as fierce as she needed to be. People respected her. Some feared her. She'd learned from the best. Nia grew. She attended a private preschool with invisible security, spoke Korean better than Maya, made friends whose parents didn't know who her Uncle Jay really was. She was safe, happy, normal in ways that mattered. On Nia's 3rd birthday, Jaemin gave her a stuffed tiger that was bigger than she was. "For protection," he said with complete seriousness. Nia hugged it, then hugged him. "Love you, Jay." He looked at Maya over Nia's head, vulnerability and fear and hope mixing in his dark eyes. After 3 years, she could read every emotion he tried to hide. Maya smiled. "You can say it back. I don't make promises I can't guarantee. Love isn't a contract, Jaemin. In my world, everything is a contract. Then maybe it's time to build a new world." Jaemin picked up Nia, who immediately started trying to braid his hair with clumsy, determined fingers. "I'm trying," he said quietly. "Every day, I'm trying." Maya touched his face, the gesture familiar and intimate. "I know. That's why we're still here." 6 months later, Maya discovered she was pregnant with Jaemin's child. His reaction was complicated, terror and joy and panic all mixing together in his usually controlled expression. They stood in the bathroom, staring at the positive test, and for a moment neither of them could speak. "I don't know how to be a father," Jaemin finally admitted, his voice raw. "You're already Nia's father, in everything but name." That's different. She chose me. This child won't have a choice about who I am or what I've done. Neither did Nia. Neither did I. Maya took his hand, placed it on her still flat stomach. We all chose to stay, Jaemin. Every day, we choose you. Why? Because broken people can build something beautiful. Because second chances exist. Because you're trying to be better. She smiled. That's all anyone can do. What if trying isn't enough? Then we try harder. Nia burst into the bathroom, demanding attention as only a 3-year-old could. Jaemin scooped her up automatically, his movements natural now, no longer stiff or uncertain. Jay, Nia said with the seriousness only children possess, when baby comes, I teach them everything. Everything? Jaemin asked. Everything, Nia confirmed with a firm nod. How to be brave, how to be strong, how to love people who are scared. Jaemin's eyes found Maya's over Nia's head, something vulnerable and real passing between them. She sounds like her mother, he said. She sounds like both of us. They stood together in that bathroom, an unlikely family built from desperation and danger and unexpected grace. A single mother from Atlanta, a reformed crime lord from Seoul, and a little girl who'd somehow bridged 2 broken worlds with nothing but a smile and stubborn trust. They weren't a fairy tale. They were something more complicated, more real. They still had guards and panic rooms and contingency plans. The empire still existed. The danger hadn't vanished completely, and Jaemin's past would always cast long shadows. But they also had birthday parties and bedtime stories and lazy Sunday mornings. They had normal moments threaded between the chaos. They had each other. Some monsters protect what reminds them they're human. Some monsters learn to be human again, one small choice at a time. And sometimes, when a baby stops crying in the arms of someone everyone calls a monster, it's because that baby sees what everyone else is too afraid to look for. The truth underneath the violence, the humanity underneath the blood, the possibility underneath the fear. And sometimes, that's exactly enough. If you made it to the end of this story, you're not just a viewer anymore. You're part of this family. Subscribe right now, because this channel is built on stories where love defies logic, where power bows to redemption, where broken people get the second chances they deserve. Drop a comment telling me what you thought of Maya and Jaemin's story. Are you crying? Are you inspired? Are you ready for more? Tell me where you're watching from and whether you believe people can truly change. Hit that notification bell, because the next story is going to wreck you in the best possible way. And if you believe Maya and Jaemin deserve their ending, if you believe in fighting for love even when the world says it's impossible, smash that like button and share this with someone who needs to hear it. We're building something special here, a community that believes broken doesn't mean beyond saving. Subscribe, like, share, and let's change the world, one story at a time. See you in the next one.